Ladies and gentlemen and WWE fans, welcome to the channel. Once again, I'm Brendan, and this is your third Ingram Wrestling News video for your Sunday evening. So, I got news on Sting's WWE contract expiring, and I got news on who owns the name Sting. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe, and turn on the bell for all notifications. Follow me on Twitter at Ingram Wrestling, and follow me on Twitch. Now, we're going to go ahead and get started. So, here's the news on Sting's WWE contract expiring. So, it reads here on the screen that Sting is no longer under WWE contract. He is a free agent but retired, so he's not wrestling again. AEW is always a possibility for someone with so much nostalgia connected to his name. WWE certainly wasn't able to keep him under their umbrella. During Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer noted that Sting's WWE Legends contract has not only expired, but is up for a long time. It's unknown why he didn't sign a new contract, but there could be a couple obvious reasons. This is what Dave Meltzer said. He said, and I quote, "It's up and it's been up for a while because that's the thing when you pull merchandise like with Lesnar things. With the Lesnar thing. That means your contract was up 6 months ago because they have a period where they're allowed to sell your stuff. So that period must have ended. I don't know the time frame, but it's a several month time frame. So, for whatever reason, I would not imagine that they would not want Sting. Although, the deal they made for Sting at the time they made, the deal may have been, at a lot more than a normal Legends guy. Maybe they didn't want it. I don't know the situation as far as what was offered. Sting, or if anything was offered Sting. Maybe if they felt like they got all the use out of Sting that they can, because he's not going to wrestle again. Now, it was noted that there is a huge temptation for AEW to bring Sting in. He wouldn't be wrestling, but his presence could be a different maker. It also wouldn't come cheap at all. On that note, AEW seemed to tease another big shocking moment for Full Gear in their latest trailer, which you can check out here, and I will have Ringside News' website in the description below for this article. Now, moving on to the next and last news that I have for this evening. Well, this is not really the last Ingram Wrestling News video. My other one that I'm recording and doing is going to be my last Ingram Wrestling News video. But anyway, moving on to the next Ingram Wrestling News. So, I have some news on who owns the rights to Sting's name. Now, obviously, I have my own answers as to who owns Sting's name, and I'm actually going to answer that question. I'm actually going to say it at the end. So, now, it reads here on the TV screen that Sting made headlines last week when it was revealed that all of his merchandise was pulled from WWE's online store. This meant that his contract ran out a significant time ago, because WWE has around 6 months to sell merchandise on a superstar after their exit. So, who owns Sting's name? Well, that's the question. Well, during Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer was asked by a listener who owns the rights to the name Sting. Since he recently left WWE's umbrella, that calls into question if he can bring Sting elsewhere. WWE makes some sign over their name to the company prior to using it on television. They did not happen. Well, that did not happen for the WWE Hall of Famer. So it was explained that Sting owns his name and he purchased the rights to that name a long time ago. Vince McMahon does not own that name. Vince McMahon acquired a ton of influential property when he bought WCW. He owns pay-per-view names that WWE isn't likely to ever use. One property that didn't come over with the purchase of WCW was Sting's name. This should all be taken into consideration, especially since AEW seemed to have a tease. Especially since AEW seemed to tease a huge shocking moment at Full Gear. So that's all the news on Sting that I have. Before I end this, folks, I just want to say my answer as to who owns the name Sting. My answer to who owns the name Sting, I think Sting himself. In my opinion, my answer, I think Sting himself. I think it is Sting himself who owns his name. AEW owns his name, and damn, WWE damn sure don't own his name. So, there's your answer right there, folks. Sting is the one that owns his name. He has ownership to his name, just like AJ Styles and Adam Cole have ownership to their Twitch names, to their actual WWE names, their character names. So, folks, that's going to do it. Hit that like, subscribe button. Turn on the bell for notifications. Folks, my next Ingram Wrestling News video is going to be... Hang on a second. It's going to be WWE. It's going to be news on WWE having plans for the Usos and Roman Reigns. That news is coming up next, right here, right now, on the YouTube channel. That's going to be my final Ingram Wrestling News for your Sunday evening. So tune in for that one. You're going to want to hear about this one. Don't miss it.